It's the return of the bongos. So, I'm back to doing some percussion. The bongos bested me last time, but I'm coming back with vengeance. I'm here and I'm gonna destroy this recording session. So, basically, I've just got the bongo part sorted already. I'll show you the recording process. And this is just to add a nice steady rhythm throughout the song. I wasn't happy with the percussion before, so I'm starting again from fresh. Just a reminder, if you're recording your own music as well, you have to be critical but not too critical. If you watched the last video, you can see that I kind of got in my own head, I had a bit of self-doubt, and to be fair, it was warranted because the percussion wasn't that good, but I could have approached it with a better attitude. So now I'm just bringing some positive mental energy and just looking forward to getting the recording done. So yeah, hope you enjoy watching the process and take care. Enjoy the return of the bongos. So as you can see, I'm now set up with my bongos. You can see here that they kind of had a bit of a separation at some point in time. They're meant to be joined together with a bit of a block, but I'm just having to force mine together like so. And then basically what you want to do is get your condenser microphone if you have one. A dynamic will do the job just fine, but if you have a condenser microphone, just place it about a foot or something like that, about a foot above the bongos, right down the middle, and that should get you a pretty good sound. I basically just had it here and then adjusted the height as I was playing, so I'd go like. And then basically when it makes you smile, when you get that sound and it's like, oh yeah, it sounds quite tribal, quite African. You don't want it to be too close because it gets a bit bassy and meh, you know what I mean? So just lift it up to the point where it starts to make you smile and you're like, yeah, that just sounds like nice acoustic bongos, I guess. It's hard to put these things into words, so I'll try my best, but essentially you're looking for a height like this and a setup similar to this. So I'll just show you a time lapse of me doing the recording. Hopefully it all goes well.
Poor little Johnny, he's out on his own missing days. He was welcome and warm. Poor little mama back home, she's feeling lonely alone. She's feeling lonely alone.
Okay, so I just listened back to a couple of the takes there, and it seems like it's not enough. There's not enough juice to it. So I've just turned down the gain, and now I'm just way more energy into the bongos, because if you play with the kind of, not hitting them hard enough and just reserved kind of playing, it doesn't really come across very well in the recording. So just lower gain, and now I'm hitting it a lot harder. So we'll see how I get on. Okay, hopefully that's a bit better. So that is sounding about a million times better now. It's amazing how just the dynamic that you hit the bongo with can have such a profound effect on the whole song. So yeah, I'm just going for it now, and every time I kind of amplify it, it seems to just sound a bit better. So I'm just kind of testing the limits now, and my hands. Not too much, obviously, but I'm thinking it's sounding a lot better now. I'm actually happy with the sound finally. So yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm just going to do a couple more takes and hopefully get that glorious final bongo take done today. That would be amazing. So yeah, fingers crossed. Persistence and patience really got me through there. So yesterday you saw I was ready to throw in the towel and everything, and today I was just getting a bad sound to start, and then eventually I found that hitting the bongos a bit harder finally produced a better sound. And this then allowed me to add some variety to my part and get more in the feel of it, get more in the groove. I started doing a couple fills on the left bongo, so I'm just feeling great. It just goes to show you that sometimes all you need to do is just keep pig-headedly just bashing your head against it until it just submits and you finally get that take. So I'm really happy with that one I just done. The next steps will be to review it and then go on to the other percussion instruments and try and do the same thing that I did with the bongos. I think I've learned a bit of a lesson here, is to really add some variety into the playing and see what actually sounds good in the mix. Make some test recordings doing a couple different things, and then you start trying to do a take instead of just assuming it's going to go well and it's going to sound well. I don't know why I did that, because I never do that for guitar. Maybe I just thought the bongos were a simple instrument, but they're not. They're an instrument like any other, and they require patience and a bit of skill. You know, you've got to play them with a bit of skill. So yeah, just an update. I'm feeling really good about that. I'm gonna have a listening break, break my fast, and then I've got some lessons today. But should be cool. Yeah, and I'll show the difference between me kind of timidly hitting the bongos and me proper going for it, especially in the mix, because I think it's very valuable to hear. So look forward to that part of the video, I guess. Alright, so I just want to show you the difference between the bongos when I was playing a bit timidly and lightly, and then when I was actually properly going for it and hitting the drum as a drum is supposed to be hit. So here we have, I'll play them soloed first. So this is the stronger hitting one. You can hear the drum rings out quite well, so then I'll go to this one. Sounds a bit like slappy. And now back to the good one. Really pops out when I hit that left bongo. So now we'll listen to it in the mix.
Oh, Mr. Days, he was welcome and warm. Poor little mama back home, she's feeling lonely alone.
So you can hear it kind of pops out every once in a while, and then I'll play this one with the reserved kind of timid one.
Oh, Mr. Days, he was welcome and warm. Poor little mama back home, she's feeling lonely alone.
And it's the same part, but the difference, even though it is minute, it really makes that big difference where you're like, oh yeah, that's a bongo, rather than just some slappy little stupid part in the background. So yeah, just thought I'd show that. And yeah, I said in a previous video as well that I took the bongos too lightly, you know? It's an instrument like any other, and as such it really does need a bit of skill to actually play it correctly. You need to spend a bit of time getting the right sound first, listen to it in the mix before you commit to recording it. So these are some of the stupid mistakes that I made with it, and I wasted a lot of time on this. But hey ho, at the end of the day I got round to a good bongo part and I'm happy with it now. So it is what it is. So bongos are done. Hallelujah! Now it's time to move back to the egg shaker, and I really liked the intro part and some of the stuff I did in the previous recording. I just didn't like all the rest of the percussion. So I'm basically just going to re-record what I did in the previous percussion parts. Don't you just love it when it's a one-take wonder? It was close. It was nearly a one-take wonder. But I did have to re-record the intro just once, and then I got the shaker part complete. So I'm dead happy with that. It's sounding so much better now in the mix. Like, it just really is. Just playing the same part in 4 different instruments doesn't really work for percussion. You have to vary it up. So I've just started playing the claves as well, which I wasn't happy with at all in the past recordings. And now I've got this part where it sits off of the rhythm a little bit, and then you play on the and of the beat, so you play on the off beat. It sounds really cool. So I'm going to try that out and see how it sounds in the mix and let you guys in on the process.
Poor little Johnny, he's out on his own misty days. He was welcome and warm. Poor little mama back home, she's feeling lonely alone. She's feeling lonely alone.
Now I honestly think the claves are the strongest part. That kind of offbeat rhythm really adds a lot to the song. It gives it this kind of mysterious vibe. So I'll just show you all the percussion. I think that's me done with percussion now. I might get a tambourine and get that in there for some more high frequency information, but it's sounding awesome right now. So I'll show you just now. So I just want to show the difference between the percussion I had before, which was the previous video, and the percussion I have now. It's honestly night and day. So first, this is the bad percussion from a few days ago.
He's out on his old misty days. He was welcome and warm.
You can hear I'm just kind of duh in everything. So I'll play that soloed. Even the bongos are different. Like, even the bongos aren't as good. And now I'll play the same section with my new percussion.
Days he was welcome and warm. Poor little mama back home, she's feeling lonely alone.
I mean, compare that to this.
He's out on his old misty days. He was welcome and warm.
It's that offbeat kind of thing. It sounds amazing. So yeah, I'm just dead happy with that. I'll play the bad percussion soloed now, and then my new percussion soloed as well. So that was the old one, this is the new one. You can just hear the bongos pop out a bit more, and the variation in the parts really adds a lot to it. So I just thought that would be a cool little demonstration just to show you. When you're making percussion parts, this is the lesson I've learned. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over and over. You want to add something new with every single instrument, otherwise there's no point. I mean, fair enough, you can do the same thing to thicken up the sound maybe. So maybe I could double up with claps over the claves. But if it's a new part, it should be doing something new and adding to the music, not just doubling up and just kind of sitting there. It just takes up sonic space where it shouldn't, you know what I mean? So just thought that was cool, and yeah, it's going pretty well now. So now it's just time to move on to the bass, I guess. That'll be the next instrument. Then I want to get some mandolin and some 12 string on there, and that should be pretty much it. Then it's time to finalize the vocals. I think you'll agree that that sounds about a million times better. So you've got the bongos now coming out, you know, I'm actually hitting them with some intensity, and they really cut through the mix nicely and add that kind of nice bubbling little rhythm underneath. Then the claves, just the variation in rhythm and that offbeat kind of weird rhythm just adds so much to the song. And then the shaker part's pretty much identical, but that adds just a lot throughout the song as well. And I've removed the claps because they just sounded a bit shit, to be honest. So yeah, I'm feeling honestly just amazing about that. I'm going to end the video off here. The only other thing I'm going to add possibly to the percussion is a bit of tambourine, but I currently don't have one, so I might do it with MIDI, but I try not to use MIDI as much as possible. I like to record everything acoustically. So hope you enjoyed the video. As always, remember, I've got the Discord down below if you want to meet some like-minded musicians on the path of self-development, or just get closer to me and ask me any questions about maybe musical productivity, getting to record, any questions you'd like to ask, just go ahead and join the Discord down below. Take care.